Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hi, beloved friends. We are back today with the beautiful book Living Spring by Emmanuel through the medium Chico Xavier. Today we are going to read and talk about chapter 123, Living in Peace. Who doesn't want peace? So let's see what Emmanuel says. Live in peace. And it's Paul 2 Corinthians 13 verse 11. Keep yourself in peace. Others will probably war against you without reason, criticizing you for the way you live your life. Nevertheless, you can continue on your pathway without warring against others. To do so, however, so that tranquility may bathe your mind, compassion and goodness must follow all your footsteps. Promise yourself that you will do all you can to avoid exasperation. If you maintain your serenity, you can analyze every event and every person in their respective place and position. Notice with a caring attitude all those that come your way, all those who appear afflicted or desperate, irreclaimable or violent, their wounds or illusions, prisoners of vanity or ignorance, they have not been able to tolerate the light of the truth. Consequently, they complain angrily. Anoint yourself with mercy and enter the recess of their being. And you see all of them in has spiritual children who feel outraged or hurt. Some accuse, others weep. Help them while you can. By pacifying their soul, you will harmonize your own life even more. Let us learn to understand each mind according to its problem. Remember that nature, always divine at heart, respects the law of balance and conserves in incessantly, conserves it incessantly. Even when people are frantic and in open conflict, the earth is always firm and the sun continues to shine. Living haphazardly is normal for everybody, but living in peace with oneself is the work of a few. Today we are being inspired to live in peace. And I think if we ask each other what peace means to us, maybe we will have a different answer. Some will say they will have peace when they have a good job. Others will say they will have peace when they have this or that. But what does peace really mean? A peaceful heart. And that comes sometimes with effort. That regardless of where we are in life, that we have a peaceful heart. And that is the first sentence that Emmanuel says, keep yourself in peace. And then you'll say, yes, but it's very hard. Yes, but with practice and through the spiritual teachings, we will get ourselves back in peace in a very short period of time, working through things easily, much more easily. And he says, others will probably war against you without reason, criticizing you for the way you live your life. And he says, nevertheless, you can continue on your pathway without warring against others. So, Emmanuel's trying to tell us that yes, we will have people that have opinions regarding the way that we choose to live in good, choose to live in peace. But he also says that we should guard ourselves so that we don't stir the peace in others. To do so, however, so that tranquility may bathe your mind. Compassion and goodness must follow all your footsteps. To have compassion for one another, to actually see each one, your child, your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, as a child of God. Because when we see them as a child of God, our reactions are much different. We will see them as co brothers and sisters on earth on their way to learn in their own way, in their own time. Promise yourself that you will do all you can to avoid exasperation, to, to not get tired. And I think everyone gets tiredness in us. But this is why we know that we need to pray. We need to pray constantly, diligently, in every situation. If you maintain your serenity, you can analyze every event and every person in their respective place and position. If we are calm, we will see, we will analyze things in a different way. So it is good to get ourselves through things and to be calm, to analyze. Sorry for the signal, beloved friends. And then to help, to analyze and to help. Notice with a caring attitude all those who come your way. He says, notice everyone that comes our way with a caring attitude, so that they can feel comforted, so that they can feel God, feel that they can be at peace around us. Give again. All those who appear afflicted or desperate, irascible or violent, bear wounds of illusions. Yes, we know that earth is full of very ill souls with a lot of guilt, with coming from incarnations with a lot of things to work out. Maybe they don't see it, they don't understand it, and we know this illusions. But where are we in this wounds and illusions that Emmanuel is talking about? Do we feel wounded constantly? Yes, there's things that that we sometimes go through, and we have a time of feeling wounded. And yes, it's pride, because if we have pride and selfishness, that is where the wounds come from. And are we in illusion? Are we awake? Are we totally incarnated? Using each moment so that we can do the good, work for something greater. Prisoners of vanity or ignorance, they have not been able to tolerate the light of the truth. He says, prisoners of vanity and ignorance. Again, let's look at ourselves. Yes, we all have a certain degree of vanity, and yes, we are still ignorant in a lot of things. But I think Spiritism and all the teachings, when we study, help us dissolve these vanities and ignorance so that we can totally see ourselves. And he says they have not been able to tolerate the light and truth. If we go against, or if we have this feeling of not agreeing about something that is the truth, we know that there is something wrong. They complain angrily because they go through things and think that we are, we should get things, we should be able, we are special, so that we don't have to suffer, we don't have to go through things. And then the next thing he says, anoint yourself with mercy and enter the recess of their being. So be merciful, just like we want mercy for ourselves. Be merciful and give them that mercy so that we can feel God in its infinite love. And you see all of them as spiritual children who feel outraged or hurt. Yes, if we look at ourselves in some point in our lives, we can see and feel this. Some accuse other weak. Help them while you can. So don't pass them by. Let's not pass an opportunity by to help one another, to help the people or whoever crosses our path. By pacifying their soul, you will harmonize your own life even more. So if we help, we will harmonize our own life. Let us learn to understand each mind according to its problem. Let's learn to understand. And sometimes we say we don't understand, but we need to see the spiritual illnesses and how they are being acted out in the daily lives of the people around us and even in ourselves. So let's wake up. Let's be mindful so that we can see ourselves, feel in ourselves, and see others. Let us learn to understand each mind according to its problem. Let us see what is going on so that we can see. Remember that nature always divine at heart. Respect the law of balance and conserve it incessantly. Remember that nature always divine at heart. Respect the law of balance, and that is where it comes in. There is a law of action and reaction, and there is a balance in all things. And when this balance is disturbed, that is when there are these spiritual disturbances. And that is where most need help. We would say it's obsession, we would call it a lot of things, but it is because we open ourselves up. We didn't do the right thing. We got angry, there are so many things that we sometimes do that we are not mindful about to, like they say, plug in to the wrong frequency. And that is then when we suffer, when we have our consequences. And That is where we have to work through those consequences. So let us help others as well. Remember that nature, always divine at heart, respects the law of balance and conserves it incessantly. Sorry. Even when people are frantic and in open conflict, the earth is always firm and the sun continues to shine. It means that God is still there. Life is still there. Nothing ends. Living um, hazardously is normal for everybody. Hazardously, sorry. But living in peace with oneself is the work of a few. And that is to have peace in yourself. That is what we need to work towards, to have this total peace in ourselves, to have peace with our own minds. Because if we have this in ourselves, we will give it out. It will shine out of us if we are peaceful. We will be positive and loving and caring because we have this ultimate peace. And sometimes it is because of ourselves, our own guilt, our own faults, our own insecurities that we act out, and our selfishness, of course. So let us look at ourselves and let us find the peace, the spiritual divine peace that Jesus taught us. Even to the cross, he showed us a peacefulness. The books about him shows us that sorry about that. The network is very slow today. But the books about Jesus shows us that even on his way to the cross, when the disciples looked at him, he was in a serene place. Even Stephen, in Paul and Stephen, they have this serenity, this trust in them, which is a great example for us. And that is why it's so important for us to read these books, the Spirit's books of these great examples that is set out for us to mimic, to focus on, to be like that. Because that is what helps us when we are in situations so that we can go through that. And then again, living in peace and be peaceful regardless of our earthly journey and the material things that goes on around us. So thank you for joining me again today, beloved friends. Until next week, may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. Bye bye.